Yo, what is going on, everyone? It's April 17, 2017, otherwise known as Day 76 of the Daniel Burke Show. So if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for checking in, or if you're listening on the podcast, which I'm recording as well, thank you also for checking in. This originally started as a podcast, but the last four videos, or the last four episodes since Day 72, I think it was, I've started video recording them as well. And I'm not gonna lie, being on camera is still daunting, and I find it, like, at the moment I'm in my car, I'm alone, and the reason why I'm in my car is because I live at home with my family, and this is one of the quietest places I can get to record the podcast and record the video show. So I'm okay in alone situations, but today I made a YouTube video, as well. I haven't made the YouTube video yet, but I recorded some clips of what I ate, and reason being for that was I haven't tracked my macronutrients in at least 6 to 8 months, and I've been making consistent gains since before then. Reason being is because I spent the last 2 years or so as sort of, after I graduated from a nutrition degree, counting macros, sort of making my own diet for whatever my fitness goals were. And so I'm used to tracking what they are. And then I just stopped one day because I got in this pattern of wanting to track everything all day, and I couldn't, it was restricting me. I didn't have enough freedom to eat. I had like a 200 plus day streak on MyFitnessPal, and it was sort of giving me anxiety every time I wouldn't hit the numbers I wanted to. And so I stopped, and I got better results after that, just because I stopped. And no, not just because I stopped, but just because, I don't know, maybe the mental thing for me was the fact that I didn't have all this pressure to hit these certain numbers. I had built up the habits over the last 2 years, and I was able to better implement those habits on my own without tracking anything. And so I did an experiment today. I wondered how good I was at sort of guesstimating where the right macronutrient range was. How much food I was taking in on a daily basis. And for people who don't know, macronutrients are the building blocks of food. So you have calories, which are the energy from food, and then food is also made up of four main macronutrients: alcohol, fat, protein, and carbohydrates. And so I guessed that if I ate normally, how I have been the past 6 to 8 months without tracking anything, that my macronutrient range would be somewhere in the realm of 2,700 to 3,500 calories, and it would be between 150 and 180 grams of protein, 350 and 400 grams of carbs, and 80 and 110 grams of fat. And I was pretty bang on. You'll see in this video that I'll post in the next couple of days all the meals that I ate. I didn't eat till 3 p.m. today. It's now 10:45 p.m. and I've had all my meals. And so the reason why I didn't eat till 3 p.m. is because I was up fairly late last night playing Monopoly with some close friends. We didn't finish the game. I've still gone, I can't remember ever finishing a game of Monopoly. When I used to play with my little brothers, we would always cheat. All of us would always cheat. One of my other brothers would be the banker, and he would always take the money. Maybe I was a banker as well, and I probably took the money if I was a banker. But what else? What else have I been up to? So that was the video I did today. It's still daunting getting on camera. I'm excited right now because I'm one-on-one, but I'm still working on getting better in public. And that's ultimately what I want to do, is start recording videos in public of me training, of me talking nutrition tips, of me whatever. Just, I don't know, being me. And they say it's true. I like to think I'm pretty confident with the things that I do, but when the camera comes on, I sort of adjust who I am. But I suppose that's always going to be a thing. So we'll see how it goes. I'm only 4 or 5 days in of actually taking this YouTube thing seriously. I've uploaded 3 videos in the last 3 days. And every time I hit publish and share on one of my social media outlets, it's still scary. I'm putting myself out there in the world. And it's a good feeling, but I know it'll probably always be there. It's the same with a podcast. I've done 70, this is the 76th episode of podcast, and I still find it weird to say welcome to the Daniel Burke Show, because it's weird saying your own name, and it's weird saying the fact that you have your own show, and it's still weird for me to say that I have my own podcast. It's, well, not weird, but I get nervous in telling people I have my own podcast. No, I should just get rid of that nerves. What am I afraid of? What am I scared of? Every single time I've told someone I have my own podcast, it's like, it's so cool. And they ask what the episodes are about. And if you've listened for a fairly long time, you'll know that none of them I don't plan much at all for any of them. This one was, I've got a few bullet points in Evernote that I literally wrote about 5 minutes ago, and it's 10:47 at night, and I just decided I have to get it done. I just had dinner, my last meal for the day, and I'm getting this podcast done 10 minutes or so before I start to get into food coma and have to sleep. But what else did I want to talk about? Being on camera is still weird. Every time I go to the record, I still get butterflies. Posting videos is still daunting. Hey, maybe all the top YouTubers get this feeling. And I'm a YouTuber now. Can I say that? How many views or videos or subscribers do I need to say that I'm a YouTuber? I don't know. This is still a learning curve, but I'm having so much fun. I encourage, if you've been wanting to get into YouTube, if you're wanting to get into podcast, I encourage all of you. If I can do it, anyone can do it, because I'm simple as. I like to keep things very basic and just like to have a good time. And right now I'm having a very good time. So if you've been thinking about trying it out, highly suggest giving it a go. But what else? Today at gym with one of my friends, I used the NASA trick that I was talking about in last episode. Check it out, day 75, I believe. Maybe it was day 75. But essentially the NASA trick is, if you're hesitating towards making some sort of decision, right in the moment, I'll give you, what did I do? So there was these girls at gym today, and they were speaking a different language. And I'm like, I want to find out where they're from. I want to find out what language they're talking. And I said, I'm going to go speak to him, to my gym partner. And he's like, man, I love you. And I'm like, I was nervous going to do it, but I used the NASA technique. I started counting down, 5, 4, 3. And as I'm counting down, I'm walking towards them. I just counted myself into it so that my brain didn't have anything else to think of apart from the fact of counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, where are you guys from? That's literally how I did. I said hello. Turns out they were from Norway. So shout out to both of those girls. Hope you have an awesome stay in Brisbane. I didn't get any of your contact details, but of the very odd chance that you're watching or listening to either of these things, have fun in my home city. But nonetheless, that's a trick. Works for me today. So try it out. If you're ever hesitating for something, count down from 10 and go do it. And then I read this quote. I had a little bit of time to read today, not as much as I'd like, because I woke up late. I stayed up way too late, but that's another story. Well, tomorrow's a new day. Today was a great day otherwise. But it was this little passage by Dan Peterson called "Do What You Are Meant to Do." And it's only short, so I'll read it out. Don't give up on trying to find your balance in life. Stick to your priorities. Remember what's most important to you and do everything you can to put yourself in a position where you can focus on those priorities. Rather than being pulled by the expectations of others, it's easy to get caught up in the expectations of others. I read that wrong. I can't even read it out. To know what to do sometimes, you have to distance yourself from others. You need to know how to be alone, and sometimes in order to know how to be around others. Am I reading this right? Slow down, Daniel. Slow down. The world is mad with a lot of mad people, not being themselves and not doing what they are meant to do. But you don't have to like everyone else. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You know what you want. You know what's important to you. You know the life you are supposed to be living. It's up to you to pursue it. If you are still not sure, then follow the path of peace and love, and you'll know what you need to be focusing on. You have the power to set the tone of your day. There never seems to be enough time in the day, but how much of the time do we waste? There's almost always enough time for most important things if we can successfully block out or minimize less important things. You can spend your whole life doing what you want to do and die, or doing what you don't want to do and die, or you can spend your whole life doing what you want to do and then die. Either way, the end result is the same. The question is whether or not you are going to enjoy yourself in the meantime. That's it. The outcome is always the same. Do what you want to do and die, or don't do what you want to do and die anyway. That's how life goes. And that's what I'm trying to do this year. One of my values, if you've listened to the podcast, I think I've talked about it probably a dozen times, is to be more authentic to myself. And I've said for a long time I wanted to start making YouTube videos and I wanted to start recording a podcast. And so far this year I've done both of them, and it's a good feeling. It's hard. It's 10:50 at night, and I want to go to bed because I'm tired from playing dodgeball and going to gym and having dinner just now and reading that passage. My eyes were weren't tracking correctly, and I did a terrible job. But I wouldn't trade any of this for the world. I'm having a good time. So what's today's challenge? Spend 1 minute. 1 minute. This is all you got to do. 1 minute. 1 minute doing something you've been wanting to do, whatever it is. If you want to start a YouTube video, make 1 minute. Upload it to your channel. Keep it private if you want, but make it public. Show your work. It's scary, but it's a good feeling at the same time. Remember what the passage said. Remember what Dan Peterson said. Good name, Dan. Good name. Don't worry about others. Don't worry about others. It's hard. It's hard. At the same time, I care about so much. I'm like a walking hypocrite. I say don't care about others, but yet I care so much about others. You got to find a balance. But thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. It's been day 76 of the Daniel Burke Show. Tomorrow's day 77. 27. 7's my lucky number. I got a dog called 7. I'll show you guys on YouTube my dog one day. But hope you have an awesome day. If you learned something, share this. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Leave a comment. I reply to all comments. If you're on the podcast, leave a review. Send me an email at daniel@mrdburke if you want to say hello to me. I'd love to chat to you. But catch you later.